If you found your way to this series, there's a good chance you've been feeling something lately. Something that you've never felt before, or maybe only at one other time in your life. You feel restless, disconnected, emotionally unsettled, like you're standing between two versions of yourself. The old version doesn't fit anymore, but the new version hasn't fully arrived yet. You're no longer who you were, yet you're not fully who you're becoming. And that space can feel incredibly uncomfortable and scary. Psychologists sometimes call this a transition state. Many spiritual teachers call it a liminal space. I call it the hallway in between identities. And most people turn around in this hallway, not because they're incapable of changing and they're not meant to do bigger things in this world, but because they misinterpret what's happening. They think that they're lost. They think that they're being punished by the universe when they're actually transforming. They think something's wrong when something's being rewritten. They think they've lost momentum when they're actually shedding what can no longer come with them to their next level. This is especially important during the Fire Horse year, a year that only happens once every 60 years. And this is why we are going on this journey together of your quantum walk, leading you to the biggest quantum jump of your life. And in order to have a quantum jump, you have to have an identity shift. And in order to have an identity shift, you have to be willing to shed things that you've been holding on to, even for generations, for decades. And you have to be willing to step into the unknown without having certainty, without having proof, without having guarantees. And it is widely, widely uncomfortable, but you're going to feel a lot less uncomfortable with it. You're going to embrace the fire horse within you during this beautiful series. If you're not familiar with me, I'm Tiffany Carter. Over 15 years, I've helped more than 150,000 people transform their businesses, wealth, and relationship with money by combining neuroscience, identity work, manifestation, and proven strategy. And over the next 7 days, I will be your guide for you having the fire horse quantum jump of your life. So there's a few things I want to share, given that this is part one, and a couple things that you might be thinking. Oh, well, I need to be in a better space mentally before I do this. Oh, I need to be walking in order for me to do this. You do not have to be walking, but I do want you to be in some form of movement, because movement moves the energy around and it helps move it faster. So we want to make sure that we're getting all of the gunk that's going to surface and have it be able to be expelled quickly. So it's going to feel good for your body, but I also want it to be movement that feels right for you on this very given day. It could be you on a vibration plate, you could be dancing, you could be stretching, you could even be on a jog. Okay? Nothing is wrong when it comes to this. I want you to be listening to your body while being present in your body. The goal is not the walk itself. The goal is movement, because movement changes energy, movement changes state, movement changes perspective. And sometimes the breakthrough you've been waiting for is not found by thinking harder. You already do enough of that. It's found by moving differently. It's found by feeling deeply. And today we're laying the foundation for the journey ahead while leveraging the rare energy of the fire horse that is only going to likely come around once in your entire lifetime. And this is a year associated with movement, with courage, with action, with fierceness, with freedom, and massive transformation. Many people entered this year expecting expansion to just happen and got on a dopamine high with all of it. But instead, they ended up finding themselves face to face with everything standing in their way of the life that they want. Old fears, old patterns resurfaced, old emotional survival strategies grasped you on every level. old identities were clinging and your ego was just pummeling you. And that's exactly why this journey matters. Because power without direction creates chaos. The fire horse energy isn't meant to drag you through your life, it's meant to be led, and you're the jockey, not the horse. And over the next 7 days, I'm going to help you reconnect with the version of yourself that already knows where you're going. And not through force, not through overthinking, but through embodiment, through movement, through awareness, through becoming. There's fascinating research showing that walking increases creative thinking and mental flexibility. But I believe something else happens when we walk intentionally. Our bodies begin processing what our minds have been holding. Thoughts loosen, emotions move, answers surface. We stop trying to solve our lives from the same mental state that created the confusion in the first place. And that's what we're going to practice together. If you have not gotten your guided Firehorse Identity Journal that goes with this, the first 1,111 people are getting that for free. And you can go to projectmewithtiffany.com/firehorsewalk. And you can swipe up here in the show notes on Apple, Spotify, and the description here on YouTube in order to get the direct link to get your journal that goes with this. And it is designed to go along with this journey because we want to really release, we want to call in, but we also want to make sure we lock in this energy so it doesn't revert back to our old way of being, our old state, because our bodies are so familiar and therefore feel comfortable with the old ways of operating, the old ways of thinking. And one of the best ways to lock that in is by also writing, moving the body, and doing everything that we're doing during the series. This is your quantum walk. You get to choose what you do here. You get to choose how deliberate you are with it. You get to choose your intention behind it. You get to choose if you show up for it. You get to choose how you show up for it. My job is simply to be your guide and channel what is going on in the spiritual committee, the powers greater than us, and trust that whatever comes through my mouth to your ears is best designed to guide you, to lead you to being able to direct that horse, to direct that energy. That's why you felt so exhausted and chaotic and even frantic and have fear. Think of a horse that is not being tended to, that is not being directed, that is not being steered, that's not being harnessed, that's not being nurtured. It would be wild, and you've got a wild horse on your hands. And we need to tame it, and we need to train it, and we need to direct it. And that's up to you and your spiritual committee. So I want you to take notice of your surroundings. I want you to notice the colors of a couple things, what the air even smells like, how you're currently feeling in your body. What's so wild as I'm on this journey with you, and this was not planned, that this series is being recorded during the rare blue moon energy. And that phrase, once in a blue moon, there's a reason that phrase exists. Number one, they're very rare, but on top of it, this one's extra rare because it's in the energy of Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, and we're in a fire horse year, so you have that double fire energy. And that is what is so beautiful about when we let go of so much control. We loosen the reins. That's when we allow for the magic to come in. That's when we allow for spirit to come in. That's when we allow for God to come in. When we are trying to control where the money comes from, how this happens, how this works in business, whatever it may be, we end up snuffing out all of the ease and the flow and the undeniable clear guidance. We can't even see it when we're in that space. And so, as you're walking with me, I want you to let go of any expectations of what's going to come out of this. I want you to get yourself into a space of fully surrendering to this process and being open and willing to trust, even if you're someone who's like, I've never done anything like this before. I don't know how I feel about the quantum leaping and all this. That none of that matters. You were led here for a reason, whether a friend sent this to you, which if you have someone on your mind when you're doing this series that you feel would benefit from this, share this with them because they came up for a reason. You're supposed to pass this on. So you may be here because you stumbled upon a video of mine on social media. It could be that you heard about it on the podcast in an email, that something popped up on your phone. However you were brought here, you were meant to be guided here because this is where your answer is going to be. Not that the answer is coming from me. I'm simply guiding you for the answer to come from within. And part 1 here is about awakening. Awakening to where you have left yourself behind. And as we walk here, as you take deep breaths, as you look around, I want you to first acknowledge yourself and give love to yourself on how rough this journey has been. You've gone through a lot of shit and you're tired and you don't want to operate this way anymore, and you've been holding on to an identity that is very expired because you're so afraid of not knowing what's in front of you. And give yourself some love and compassion and understanding for wanting to clutch on to what's familiar, who's familiar, because it's what you know. And that feels far less dangerous. But I also want you to say something to yourself about the fact that it's time. It's time for us to release. It's time for us to move in a different way, in a different direction, with different intention. And we don't have to release it all at once. We don't have to even release it right now. But we are going to have to do some things differently in order to experience the expansion that we're being called to rise to. Where all the things that you've been praying about, that you've been manifesting about, that life that you envision, what you say, oh, I wish I could have this, if only I could have this. All of that is there for you. It's on the other side of this, of all of this hard stuff. You know, being in this long hallway can feel never ending. It can make you even grasp at straws of your past because it just feels so uncomfortable to keep walking this long hallway and you don't see where it's going. But I need you to trust where it's going. I need you to trust that you're being led by a power greater than you. That it's going to where you are meant to expand to next, because you're not in control. Yeah, maybe you're in control of if you went on a walk and did this, and you're in control of the volume setting that you have on this, and what beverages you drink today, but the ultimate stuff, that's divine timing. That's already been planned out. Now we can get in the way and slow things down. We can get in the way and absolutely have things turn a completely different direction. But things get so much easier when we surrender to it. What do you know? And you're going to feel it in your body and whatever first comes up. What do you know that you've been doing, how you've been operating, is not serving you? What you've been holding on to? Because there's somewhere that you deeply want to go. There's things that you want to do. There's people you want to help. There's stuff that you want to create. That's all being blocked, buried by a bunch of gunk that we have taken in from toxic people, environments, generational trauma, and it's not yours. That's a lower entity at work trying to keep you from doing your higher level work. I know you know you're being awakened to something. You're being called towards doing something. You're being called to being a different person. And there was nothing wrong with your old person. It's just time to step into this new version of her, this new version of him. The one that you wake up in the morning and you look in the mirror and you really can look in that mirror and go, I'm so proud of you. We're doing this thing. That doesn't mean you're not scared. That doesn't mean you're not nervous or anxious. But you're doing it because you're the type of person who shows up and does it and does what's required and stands in your power and stands in your truth and shares your truth and isn't bothered by the nonsense and the noise around you. You have the blinders on just as horses do running a race, because it doesn't matter. All the outside stuff doesn't matter. When you have a divine purpose, when you have a divine mission, when you are doing things that are serving yourself and the greater good, what comes up for you as you're walking right now? What are you walking towards? You might not be able to fully grasp it yet, but you at least see an outline of it. Just picture like it's a whole different world and atmosphere, and you get to create it. And as you're walking closer and closer to it, you morph into the new identity that is a direct frequency match for that world, for that lifestyle, for those feelings associated with it. To begin, it's beckoning you. It's been beckoning you. And you've felt it, but it feels so weird. And your ego has all sorts of things it's gaslighting you with, of that's not possible, and what if this, and you're just dreaming and you need to be responsible, and blah, blah, blah. That's all fucking noise. It doesn't matter. We're putting the blinders on. As you're going on this journey, this is your quantum walk, no one else's, and nothing else outside matters when we're doing this. This is a journey of one. This is a solo mission. What is in front of you? What do you see? What's going on in that world? What is that version of you? That next level version of you? What does she or he look like standing in that world? Does she look free? Does she look joyous? Does she look content? What's the energy feel like that you can see around her? She's standing next to a horse. And this is a horse of any design for you, of any color. This is the horse that is going to help you quantum jump there. This horse is your magic. This horse is something to be cherished, nurtured, but also steered, also disciplined, also harnessed, also trained. What does this horse look like? What color is this horse? And it's okay right now. This horse doesn't need to be perfect. My guess is the horse isn't yet perfect. The vision of your horse might change. Your horse has been left wild. It's not really been corralled and focused, which is why things have felt so all over the place and you've felt like you were going crazy, because you have this intensity of the fire and knowing that there's the destination is there, the greater expansion is there, but didn't know how to harness this power and didn't know how to get there. And it's just so much to wrap around. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, because we're in this together and you're going to get there one step at a time as we walk towards the greatest quantum jump of your life. Your fire horse identity within that no one can take away from you. No person, place, job, client, institution can take that away when you harness your own power. I want you to imagine that this horse is walking beside you right now. And you can pet it. You can stop and give it a kiss. This horse is also there to keep you safe and remind you that you're safe and secure and you're supported no matter what, and you're not alone on this ride. I want you to picture the sound that a horse makes as it's walking next to you, and the rhythm that you both get in while you're walking is in sync. It's in sync for the first time. It feels so good to have this in sync. The sounds, the cadence, your heart is co-regulating with your horse's heart. And finally, you have direction. You have a clear path and you're being guided, and you don't have to figure it out on your own, because this is far too important and far too much to even try to figure it out on your own. And as you continue to walk, Know that you're walking towards your new expansion, exactly where you're meant to go, and you don't have to know where that is yet. I want you to feel that power in your body start coming back and feel the safety start coming back. And it's okay if you don't feel fully confident and empowered and rearing to go yet. You don't have to. But don't you feel a little safer? Doesn't it feel nice to know that you're not alone in this? That there's thousands and thousands of you that are jointly walking together in this quantum walking series all over the world, who all been feeling that same restless, irritable, discontent feeling, that now you have this exhale of, I don't maybe know all the steps, and I don't have it all figured out, and I don't know exactly everything on this destination, but I know that I'm now awakened and I'm on my path. And that's all I have to know for today. Love you so much. Listen to this as many times as you feel called to. And remember to get your guided journal and do the part 1 journal exercises that go with this. Go to projectmewithttiffany.com/firehorsewalk. You can swipe up. That link is in the show notes here on Apple, on Spotify, and in the description on YouTube. And if there's someone that comes to your mind at any point during this, trust that you're supposed to share this with them. You could be changing someone's life, as I hope this is starting to change yours.